Today our topic is the secret to long-term happiness. We all want to be happy, don't we? But happiness is not something that just happens to us. It is not a gift or a prize. It is a skill, a way of thinking, and a choice we make every day. Many people think that happiness comes from having money, success, or perfect relationships. But the truth is, long-term happiness is not about what happens to us. It is about how we respond to what happens. Let me explain. Imagine two people. One wins the lottery, and the other loses their job. The person who wins the lottery might feel happy for a while. But after some time, they go back to The person who loses their job might feel sad at first, but with time, they can also return to their normal level of happiness. This shows that happiness is not tied to external events. It is something deeper, something inside us. So what is the secret to long-term happiness? It's about learning to live with clarity, purpose, and peace, no matter what life throws at us. Let's break this down into three key ideas: acceptance, gratitude, and growth. First, let's talk about acceptance. Life is unpredictable. Sometimes things go well, and sometimes they don't. We cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we react. Acceptance means understanding that life is a mix of good and bad moments. It means letting go of the idea that everything should always be perfect. Think about the weather. Some days are sunny, and some days are rainy. We don't get angry at the rain. We accept it as part of nature. In the same way, we should accept the challenges in life as part of the human experience. When we fight against reality, we create suffering for ourselves. But when we accept what is happening, even if it's not what we wanted, we free ourselves from unnecessary pain. Acceptance doesn't mean we give up or stop trying. It means we stop wasting energy on things we cannot change and focus on what we can control. This is a key lesson from Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that teaches us to focus on our own actions and attitudes, not on external events. The Stoics believed that happiness comes from within, not from the outside world. They said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realizes this, and you will find strength. So the first step to long-term happiness is acceptance. Now, let's talk about gratitude. Gratitude is the practice of focusing on what we have, rather than what we lack. It is about appreciating the small things in life. A warm cup of coffee in the morning, a kind word from a friend, or the beauty of a sunset. Gratitude shifts our focus from what's wrong to what's right. It reminds us that even on difficult days, there's always something to be thankful for. Research shows that people who practice gratitude regularly are happier, healthier, and more resilient. Why? Because gratitude changes the way we see the world. Instead of always wanting more, we learn to be content with what we have. This doesn't mean we stop dreaming or working towards our goals. It means we find joy in the journey, not just the destination. One way to practice gratitude is to keep a gratitude journal. Every day, write down 3 things you are grateful for. They can be big or small. Over time, this simple habit can transform your mindset and help you see the good in every situation. Gratitude is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. So, if you want to be happier, start counting your blessings, not your problems. Finally, let's talk about growth. Happiness is not a static state. It is a dynamic process. It is not about reaching a point where everything is perfect and staying there. It is about constantly evolving, learning, and improving. Growth gives us a sense of purpose and direction. It makes life meaningful. Think about a tree. A tree doesn't stop growing just because it has reached a certain height. It keeps growing, reaching for the sun, and adapting to its environment. In the same way, we should never stop growing. Growth can take many forms. It can be learning a new skill, overcoming a fear, or becoming a better version of yourself. The key is to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. When we face difficulties, we have a choice. We can see them as obstacles or as chances to become stronger. The Stoics believed that obstacles are not something to avoid, but something to embrace. They said, "The obstacle is the way." This means that the challenges we face are the very things that help us grow. So, don't be afraid of failure or setbacks. They are part of the journey. Every time you overcome a challenge, you become wiser, stronger, and more resilient. And that is what true happiness is all about. Now let's bring these ideas together. Long-term happiness is not about chasing pleasure or avoiding pain. It is about living a life of acceptance, gratitude, and growth. It is about finding peace in the present moment, appreciating what you have, and constantly striving to become the best version of yourself. It is not always easy, but it is always worth it. Remember, happiness is not a destination. It is a way of traveling. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment to be happy. You can choose to be happy right now, no matter what is happening in your life. This is the secret to long-term happiness. It is not something you find, it is something you create. Let me leave you with one final thought. Life is short, and it is unpredictable. We don't know what tomorrow will bring, but we do have today, and we have the power to make the most of it. So don't waste your time worrying about things you cannot control. Don't wait for the perfect conditions to be happy. Start where you are, with what you have, and do what you can. Practice acceptance, cultivate gratitude, and embrace growth. And most importantly, remember that happiness is not something you achieve once and for all. It is something you choose every single day. The journey of life is not always easy, but it is beautiful. And the more you focus on the good, the more good you will find. So, take a deep breath, smile, and keep moving forward. Because the secret to long-term happiness is not out there. It is right here, within you.